I'm a medium. Ask me how it's not filmed in front of a living studio audience.
We best friends, but we love talking about dead people. We're gonna laugh and we'll cry. Well, Dana's gonna cry a little bit.
We got love bombs all over the place. And let's not act like Matt isn't gonna cry a little bit. But we're also gonna cuss. So if that doesn't resonate, turn the fuck around.
Yeah, we're gonna drop some fuck bombs.
But we also wanna share our experiences and knowledge about mediumship.
So sit down, get comfortable, and remember,
You are the light of 100,000 suns. You are the light.
and enjoy.
Dana!
Matthew Tao.
Oh my gosh, Dana. I just want to say, we're back for another episode.
We're back in the saddle again.
That saddle hurts my butt.
Back. Then you're doing it wrong.
I know. Safety first is kids. Safety first.
Do you wear a helmet?
Sometimes. I'm sorry. Okay. So, Dana, I just want to hang out with you this episode. I feel like a lot of our episodes are us just kind of talking from our perspective around mediumship. But I just want to delve into what are you doing right now? Who are you as a person in this moment in life? What are you enjoying? What's your favorite part of mediumship? I got so many questions for you.
Oh my God.
So this episode's called Matt and Dana's Super Friend Hangout Halloween Edition.
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew.
So we friends for a long time. At this point, it's going on a year.
Yeah.
We're creeping up. We creeping up real fast. And I can tell you, me and you got a lot in common.
A lot, weird shit in common. Can we talk about the love of cheesecake?
Oh my God, cheesecake, Dana. I'm an 80-year-old lady. Golden Girls. If I got an issue, I'm pull up a chair. We're going to eat some cheesecake.
If I'm honest, I feel like we're going to end up in Florida eating cheesecake every day.
Oh, totally.
Watching Mannequin.
I want to get those glasses for Mannequin. The really big ones.
And we'll just hop on and do 3 mediumship readings a day together. We'll be oh my God.
Yeah, I want to be a really fun Janet Nohavec. Because she was a really good medium. Mm-hmm. I just want to be Sophia and Janet Nohavec.
Who says you aren't already?
Oh, that is true.
You're just half the age.
Just missing the golden hair, or the silver hair. Or all Eddie hair.
Or hair.
Because I balls. You know what I think you'd be? I think you're going to be this. I don't think you're going to age. You're going to be the Paul Rudd of mediumship.
I will take that.
I don't think you're going to age. I think Paul Rudd, I don't know why he just doesn't age.
No,
but he's hot.
He's so hot. We do.
Paul Rudd, if you're listening to this, I hope you swing both ways because we're both in love with you.
Well, the funny thing is there's only a handful of guys that we actually agree on who's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's you said Robert Downey Jr. So
yes.
for you don't know, me and Dana love Marvel, and that's how we gauge hotness.
Yeah.
It's Marvel. I'm is he a Chris Pratt? Is he I don't know. I don't find Chris Pratt hot anymore.
No.
But I do find Chris Evans.
I'm Robert Downey Jr., you're Chris Evans. Mm-hmm. But the good thing is if we ever gotten to you're in a committed relationship. Yes. I've been married for 21 years. So it's not we're on the market. But if we ever were, we would never be in competition for a guy because you would be going for one guy. I would be going for a different guy.
Unless it comes to Interview with the Vampire.
But even that, I'm into Louis more than Lestat.
I've got cards on the table. I'm open.
I would take either. I'll rush them both for you. Rock,
paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Shoot. I got paper. What'd you got?
I got rock hard.
I know. Oh my God. I can't believe you just said that. I love you so much. But it's true. It's true. So, Dina, I really have a question for you.
Okay.
Like, what movie for you has been like the pinnacle of getting it right to you for mediumship?
A movie. Ooh.
Like, or it doesn't need to be like the full movie because I feel like it's Hollywood. But what movie has been like, boom, this explains a lot?
You know what? For mediumship, I can't think of one for mediumship. I honestly, I cannot think of one for mediumship. But one of the movies that I think that depicts the afterlife kind of funny but accurately is called Defending Your Life, with Robert Brooks. We should watch that together.
I haven't seen it.
But it's actually like about like they like it's very reminiscent of a life review. And kind of like going out, you die and you're like, okay, like this is my life, and you kind of look at it, and it's the thing about it is like, did you face your fear? Did you like do the things that you were supposed to, that you came on earth to do? And if you did, then you get to go to the next place, and if you don't, then you get to go back to earth to try again. But there's this it's funny. And they get to eat a lot of food, and I don't know. I love that movie. There's some nuggets in there that I'm like, ooh. But you know what I love too is The Good Place. See, these aren't very actually.
I started it, never finished it.
Oh my God.
I started it, never finished it. I love what is it, Kristen
Wiig.
Is it Kristen Wiig?
Mm-hmm. No, not Kristen Wiig. It's
Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell. All the Kristens. Stewart.
Yeah.
Twilight.
We love us a Kristen. Give us a Kristen.
I just started laughing at Twilight. I'm sorry.
I'm okay. So now I'm just talking about movies I like about the afterlife, but that's not really even accurate either. I just like there's like these little nuggets in these shows that I'm like, ooh, 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 ooh.
It's like drips and drops. The movie Soul, the Disney movie Soul. Did you see that movie?
Yeah, I don't like.
Okay, there is a part about mediumship that I would say is somewhat accurate, little bit. So when that guy is standing on the street corner and he's like spinning the sign, it's for him, it's relaxing, right? So he like zones out and goes to the spirit world, and he does non-mediumship stuff. But it was a good representation of not being in your active mind, being in a passive state to be able to communicate to the other side. So that side, I was like, that's good. I also feel like with that movie too is like they kind of like, what's your soul purpose? Like, what do you want to learn in there? So like the little souls have to be like, I'm now going to hell, heaven, or earth. I got it so excited. I forgot what I was saying. But like, I feel like that is a part of it as well, of being like, well, what do you want to experience on this earth? So I don't say that movie's 100% accurate, because that guy's passion was music, and then they turned it out to be like, that's your crutch.
Yeah.
That's what he loved to do. It was who he was as a person. He loved doing it. Took it to a little bit of a selfish place, but I would say Soul has some drips of being like, okay, that's kind of what I have to do. I have to sit in the power. I have to zone out. I have to get in a passive state so I can raise my vibration to go to communicate with the spirit.
Yeah.
Have you seen Ghosts?
No, I need to watch that.
Oh, please watch it. For the audience at home, Ghosts is not a representation of spirit communication in its entirety, but it's just cute. Like the BBC version, you got to watch first. It's like The Office, where like the English version was so good that the Americans were like, we could do it better. But it's cute, and it's standing on its own. They're not following it, just like The Office didn't follow the British version in its entirety. But it's very cute.
Yeah.
So can I just tell you like a premise and then see if you'll be into it? So I'm just going to ruin the first episode. That's it. So they move into a house. She inherits a house from her relatives, and she ends up falling down the stairs, and she hits her head, and then she can see the ghosts that are actually residing in her house, and her husband can't. So like when she's having a conversation with the ghost, the husband's like, what'd they say? And later down the season, he tries to hit his head so he can see him. And one of the ghosts has an arrow through his head because he got shot in the neck by one of the students, like Boy Scouts, that he did on the property. It's just funny. It's just funny ghost humor. But it's on CBS. If you haven't watched it, check it out. It's also on, I believe, Amazon for the British version. Watch the British version first, and then move over to the American version.
I have so much homework to do. You make me watch all these shows.
I'm telling you, Dana. But I'm right.
You know what? Heavenly Kid was a really...
That was such a fucked up movie. Can we just take a moment for that? If you're not signed up for our Patreon, we have that movie posted on our Patreon, and it's like, I will never look at like your recommendation because I was like, oh my god, she really loves this movie, because you were starting to talk about like the soundtrack, so I was like, oh bitch, really invest in this movie, it's gotta be good. What the fuck, Dana? That was like 2 hours of like spiritual abuse. He was such a horrible guardian angel, let me tell you. I mean, a bracelet took him out. A bracelet, Dana.
Don't ruin the movie for people who haven't seen it.
I'm not going to ruin the entire movie, but all I'm going to say is don't wear bracelets and try to roll out of a car.
Life choices.
You take that. You know what? I'm taking my Apple Watch off of this episode. I don't want something to happen.
Don't. Life choices.
Life choices. But it's really fun to see like us depicted in media.
Yeah.
Like, it really is.
Well, it's always like the movie. You were just talking about the show Ghosts, but the movie Ghost is always like, everybody always wants to know, like, is that what it's like? And it's like, no.
I want to be Oda Mae Brown.
Me too.
Maybe it's Sophia with a little bit of Jenna Nohavec and a little bit of Oda Mae
just
Brown.
A little bit, just stir it up.
With a dash of Carrie Bradshaw. But it's, I mean, last night we were on the phone and I was like, yeah, what did you do? I watched Ghosts. And you're like, did you have sexy clay time?
True story. This was our actual conversation.
That movie with the pottery scene was only for Patrick Swayze to take his shirt off. Like, I don't.
Do you disagree with that? I'm okay with Patrick Swayze taking his shirt off.
Yes, I do. Because I really liked him in Dirty Dancing, and I didn't need to see him pushing a penny up a wall.
I'm okay with it.
I don't know. But now it's sad because he is no longer with us, so it just makes it sad. Have you ever seen a movie where an actor was so good in the role that you can't watch it again because they've passed?
No, I can't think of anything. Give me an example.
So Brittany Murphy in Girl Interrupted.
That is
Brittany Murphy she was so good in that role, but knowing that how she had passed on the other side, she's fine on the other side, but it's sad to watch it because it just hits home because she was such a fantastic actress. I love Brittany Murphy 100%.
Yeah.
Same thing with Marilyn Monroe. Like, I feel so bad for Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Gone too soon, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Gone too soon.
It's like Heath Ledger and watching the Joker, the Batman.
No, the Batman movie. I couldn't get into that one, Dana.
Really?
No,
that's the only one I liked of that one, of that series.
But I came off of like Batman Returns.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like Michael Keaton was always my Batman because I'm an early '80s kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not a fan. Not a fan of the Heath Ledger ones.
Mm-hmm.
Don't recommend.
That I only liked the Joker one of that series. That was it.
What is your favorite mediumship book?
Gordon Smith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mine too.
That's because we twins. Intuitive Studies.
It's such a good book.
I do like Janet Nohovic's book a lot.
Is that Bridging Two Worlds?
Mm-hmm. You know, I gotta say, like, Tyler Henry's first book was very validating for me. It was a very, like, oh yeah. I can see, like, I made me feel more normal. I think Tyler Henry's whole experience, whether it's been his books or more so the Netflix series he put forward makes me feel more normal.
I love that show. I also love that he sat in the dark for 25 minutes.
I know. You love sitting in the dark. It's your favorite.
Well, look, it's all Gordon Smith's fault.
I know, it's in his book. It's in his book.
He was like, go sit by yourself for a little bit. And now I'm telling all my students, you need to sit in a dark closet.
I know. And I mean, but the ones that have done it have attested to like what a great thing it's been.
It's worth it. It helps you get rid of fear of the dark. It gets you sitting in your own energy. It's fantastic. I love it.
I'm trying to look for another book that I really liked. What books do you like?
I like John Holland's book.
Yep.
I listened to John Holland's book on Audible.
Me too. I
cheated. But I also
I do better listening to books. I'm just gonna say I do better listening to books.
Audible, you listening?
Audible. And I gotta call out Infinite Quest by John Edward. I liked that book a lot too.
He is so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that. He's so good. I think that I liked his show, Crossing Over. Mm-hmm. I think that was good. Tyler Henry's show, chef's kiss. Mm-hmm. Tie that shit up with a boat is perfect. It was perfect. And it was addicting. Mm-hmm. And then I noticed, like, after we had gotten off, like, that show, like, when it became a hit, every medium was drawing on God. TikTok.
Everybody's scribbling.
But there's tricks in that show that help develop, right? So the more you consume, and the reason why we're talking a lot about, like, media, is the more that you consume educational things about mediumship, the more you expand your vocabulary.
Yeah.
The more you expand your life experience to just go out and experience things, and Spirit will use stuff as reference. But take it into consideration of like what hits for you, because that show Surviving Death is also really good. And I know that we had talked about that numerous times, but I feel like that show scared a lot of people away from physical mediumship. And I feel like that has its purpose. Mm-hmm. And I think that it just needs to be delved, because that's the feedback I've heard. I actually liked the whole thing. Yeah. Start to finish.
I think it was just interesting, like, to dive deeper on this and have it be more of a documentary. Because it up to this point, it had been very Hollywood-esque. And it had been the movie Ghost, or, you know, these shows on TV, like The Dead Files or whatever. And of course, there had been, you know, Crossing Over with John Edward, or Celebrity Medium show with Tyler Henry, or
Hollywood Medium.
Hollywood Medium, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or Teresa Caputo's show. All of these different shows. But this was more of a documentary look at things, which had never, to my knowledge, had never really been put out there, which I really appreciated, like a different lens put on things. So that's why I enjoyed that series.
I also like that series from the perspective of the person receiving a reading. Mm-hmm. Because we always highlight the medium, right? So we never actually highlight, but that guy that was going from medium to medium trying to get, so that was really a thing, because it also did expose people to, like, I'm not saying he had it, but psychic addiction. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can be addictive, but it just exposed a lot of the mediumship work that we do. And it also shows that there's schools. Mm-hmm. There's schools for mediumship, folks. That's so freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. So I just love a good medium. It's like Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'm like, I want to go to Hogwarts.
Well, speaking of that, I've never seen that movie either. So here we are.
There's time.
There's time.
Always watch them at Christmas time. It's just my favorite time to watch.
Okay, so I can watch it at Christmas time. Mm-hmm. That's when you're gonna drop that in my lap to watch that. Be
prepared. Yeah, it's like the diamond art of movies.
That doesn't make me want to watch it.
Me and Dana did a diamond art piece. We were seeing who would finish first. Well, I did, because I cheated and started early.
Yeah, he got it and started first.
I didn't ever think you'd finish it.
I'm so competitive. How would I not finish it?
I'm like, you're going to get like 2 dots in and be like, well, this is stupid.
No, I had to do it. If you were going to do it, I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Very competitive.
Should we tell them like how much fun we have every single day?
Every single day.
Like, you guys don't know how many times I talk to Dana throughout the day. Like, I have to call you at 8:30 my time, which is 6:30 yours.
There was one day where it was like 6:38 and I didn't get a phone call and I was like, he's mad at me.
I'm worried. You texted me and I was with my boss and you're like, are you alive?
Are you okay?
I'm like, yeah. So if you don't think that we're real best friends, we're real best friends. And then by the time you hear this, or if you, I don't know, like in the future, we've gone through a secret trip.
Well, this might be posted before secret trip.
It might get posted before secret trip, but secret trip's coming up for us. And so that's really exciting. So
are we going to tear each other down? Like, are we still going to be best friends after secret trip?
I'm pretty sure. That's if you don't like touch the iceberg or
what does that mean?
See the fjords.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I just pretend that there's icebergs in the fjords.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what the fjords are, it's Norway.
Okay, so this is because I do believe we're going to post this before we go.
Okay.
Because math.
Carry the one.
Because as of this recording, we have 27 more sleeps.
Yeah.
27 more moons till our secret trip. Matt may have dropped some hints in the direction of which we were flying to go on secret trip. And he was like, crap, Dana, I spoke. He's like, you got to slap me if I start dropping hints. And I was like, well, we need to drop hints in a different direction. Throw people off the track.
All the way to Norway.
And he's like, let's tell everybody we're going to the fjords. So now it's become an inside joke. And now we speak about going to the fjords.
Yeah. Wooden shoes, Holland. I think I've said something about like the Great Wall of China. We're going to go see the Mayan temples. Mm-hmm. Like, it's going to be a secret trip. It's going to be a trip. Dana, I forgot what I was going to ask you, but it was really good.
This is a good question.
What is your favorite thing about mediumship? Like, what is your favorite thing?
I feel lucky every single time. And I really feel like, I think I want to stick with the word lucky, but it's also the word honored to do this work. Like, I just feel fulfilled on a level that I've never felt fulfilled. They say that whole, like, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Right?
Do what you love what you do.
Mm-hmm. But it just fulfills my soul on such a deep level. Like, I just know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it just fills me in a way that I can't put words to it. Mm-hmm. It is so gratifying, and not on an egotistical level. Like, it's just, I just know that this is where I'm supposed to be. And
soul purpose.
It's my soul's purpose. And it's helped me grow personally, like inner development, like personal development. I say this all the time and I hope it doesn't get tiring, but like, I am more authentically me than I have ever been my entire life. Mm-hmm. I appreciate life more because I'm a medium. I appreciate relationships more. I don't tolerate bullshit in my life the way that I used to, because I understand how fleeting life is and how short life is. So it's not worth wasting time on shit that makes me unhappy. Mediumship has taught me a lot about death, but it's more so taught me more about life and the life that I want to live. And like, life is too short to not be doing the things we want to do. Yeah.
You got to take every moment by the balls.
Yeah.
Dana.
Those are those little
little metal balls that you just put in your hands. Not not actual testicles.
No, they could be testicles.
But you really do. You seize the day. Carpe diem. Seize the day.
So I don't know. I don't know if that really answers your question, but it's just it's become my life. But in well-rounding my life, if that makes sense. Like it's not only what I do, it's who I am.
Baby, it's what I do.
What about you? I have to flip it and reverse it and ask it to you.
For me, it's more of, it's made me a better person. It's made me more well-rounded. It's brought me to places I never thought I would go. As far as like, not, I'm going to say egoically.
The fjords.
The fjords. It's really about being able to help people on a level spiritually, right? Because you can help somebody physically, you can help somebody emotionally, but spiritually impacting somebody and changing their perspective to live a better life, and more fulfillment in their life, to know that their loved one's okay. That's a gift. So I don't never say that mediumship is a gift, but that is a gift I can give somebody. That's not about me, but it's really just being the product of the spirit world, of being like, I just want to give you this, because watching somebody walk out 20 pounds lighter is the most amazing things that you can see. They're not losing physical weight, but they're losing the fucking baggage we carry. And just to know that they're like, I can wake up tomorrow morning and feel 100% better knowing that my loved one's okay. Because it's not about me, but it's about watching somebody else evolve. It's just like awe. It's awe-inspiring. Watching our students grow.
Yeah.
Has been like very like, oh, I feel so fortunate I get to be a part of that. Right? So it's just, there's a lot. I could keep going on and on and on. But it's really just like watching the impact and the ripple effect of going through my journey, sharing what I know about others, watching them experience the spirit world for the first time, or watching them have that like next level, oh my God, I just leveled up, and just watching the lights turn on, and utilizing and releasing bad habits. Oh my God, the bad habits are so hard to break, but watching like a medium in development break that bad habit and being like, oh my God, this is amazing. That is so fun to watch. It's so fulfilling to teach mediumship and mediumship development and express through education and watching me work, of being like, that's possible. And watching Tyler Henry work and John Edward work and all these mediums being like, that's possible. It's just like how limitless the spirit world is also another cool aspect that I really love about mediumship.
Yeah. What is amazing, and I was going to ask you a question, but now I'm wondering how much I want to delve into this. Because I was going to ask you, what do you want from this? What are the next steps for you? But for me, and I'll let you answer that, but as I was kind of perplexing that question, that is a fancy word that I just made up. I'm going to come up with a Dana dictionary.
Hanaism. It's a Dana and a Hana.
It's a Hanaism. But as I was kind of thinking about that question, it's like, I don't want to put any restriction for myself on what I'm supposed to be doing with this. Like, I kind of have some intention, and you and I have talked about some of our own personal dreams of some things that you and I would love to do together in the future. But I just, even like the beginning of this year, I didn't know who Matthew Tao was. In January, we essentially met in January of 2022. But January 1st, 2022, I did not know who Matthew Tao was. And if you would have told me that I would be on a podcast with you and be doing the things that we've done and had done 2 sold out events and doing and teaching and all of that, there's no way in hell I would have believed you. Yeah. There's no way I would have believed you. And so, and kind of going back to that, like not wanting to limit the limitless, I just, like, I have like these dreams and these things that I want to do, but like, I don't want to like put any restriction. I just I'm so enjoying this process of unfoldment and just like being surprised every single day. And even in this creation of our podcast or our development circle or the things that you and I have cooking in the background, because there's other things y'all don't know about. Shh. There's been this excitement every single day of like, oh, look at how this is growing organically and look at how this is happening. Like, I don't want to put pressure on it. I don't want to like put like, we talk about having a wish list for spirit all the time with our students. And I think it's good to have that.
Yeah.
But like not, does that make sense? Like, how do you feel about that?
It does. I 100% agree with you. I believe like I think setting goals is good, right? Mm-hmm. But I think also being open-minded to what is possible and letting it come to you and just working on your craft and being authentically yourself and representing the spirit world in the best way possible will lead to those opportunities. And I think just being open to them. Right? Being open to the possibility of whatever happens, and it was meant for a reason. And the only thing I would say differently is I want the world. I want the whole world. Give it to me now. It's my bar of chocolate before I get, but about saying like, I think that's the hard part is like settling the ego and the human experience to want to have it now. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's the hard part, I think, of learning all of this and having like this amazing podcast and having us is like, where's next, right? But just being present, being okay with like what's happening right now and just not even focus. Like, I don't focus on the future. I think we've set like small little goals and we've achieved a lot of them. But I think just kind of being like, hey, whatever happens. I'm gonna just roll with it, go with the flow. I'm flowing, right? What do you dislike the most about mediumship? There's got to be a dislike.
I think I don't have any dislike in my own practice. Mm-hmm. I think what I dislike is perception from others, and mostly because of others, the way that others portray themselves as mediums out in the world. So I feel that I have to constantly be re-educating, be not on the defense, but I constantly have to be like, that's not true. This is what's true. I constantly am like on cleanup and all of that. And it's like, I hate telling people what I do. If I'm honest, I hate telling people what I do, not because I'm ashamed of it, but because there's this connotation and there's this perception. And everybody thinks that you're out for a quick buck or that you're a scammer or whatever. And I just, when it's like, I told you recently I went to go to the doctor's office and they asked for my occupation on there and I left it blank. And they're like, so do you work full time? And I go, yep. And they were like waiting for me to share what I did. And I'm like, I'm not telling you what I do because it's none of your business. I don't want to have a conversation about it. Because the small talk about it either freaks people out or then they're like, prove it. That's the one thing that I don't like is that it's either like people want you to prove it. It freaks them out. They think they judge you right upon seeing you. And it gets tiring when you just want to I just want to be Dana sometimes.
Yeah. I'm going to start saying that I'm a, spiritual consultant. What are you doing? I'm a spiritual consultant. Oh, is that like a pastor? No. Or I'm just start making up random jobs. Like I lubricate the O-rings for pipes for bath fitters.
I like it. I don't know. Like, how do you, what's your least favorite thing about mediumship?
Probably you listed a majority of them. Probably the reaction from others. I love because I'm super passionate about mediumship, like super like pro team spirit. And I think it's hard because finding the limitations of what others' comfortability is around it is like a pain in the ass all the time because you don't want to come off as like shoving it down somebody's throat because it's a very private and personal thing, spirituality. but it's also, it's like, this experience you're having is very true to yourself and to the evidence that's provided, and not being able to share that with others is tough because it's authentically who we are. So it's like you're having to limit yourself a little bit. And I think coming out and being sensitive to other people's reactions is a pain in the fucking ass. Like, I've been called schizophrenic. I've been called nuts. I've had people eye roll if they ask me what I do. I'm like, oh, I'm a psychic medium. And they're like, or they know it and they're embarrassed. It's like, I'm not embarrassed. I fucking love who I am. I don't need you to be embarrassed for me. If you're embarrassed for me, that's a sign for you, not for me. I'm not going to own that. That has been really kind of like the thing that I don't like the most about mediumship is the constant coming out. Right? Because like, if you're in any profession, you don't have to keep saying, well, I work on cars. Like, it doesn't matter. But I think what we do is so unusual that it's like constant, like checking to see, like, if I was to tell you I was a mechanic, what would your reaction be?
Cool.
If I was to tell you I was a psychic medium and you never met me, I'd have to gauge where the fuck you fall.
Yeah. And then you'd have to ask a bunch of questions, and there's just
read for me.
Yes,
dance monkey dance. Yeah.
There's just this whole, you can't just keep so. And I want to say, like, I don't hide in the closet on any of this. Like, this is not. I am authentic. Like, all of the people in my life know exactly what I do. I'm fully like transparent to everybody in my life what I do. This is I do not hide that I am a psychic medium. But if I am meeting a random stranger out on the street, or I'm having my hair done or whatever, I don't need to have if I'm doing small talk, I do not need to have like this small talk conversation of like, so what do you do? Like, no, I do not have the bandwidth to constantly be having that same freaking conversation. Matt, would you please, if you're up for it, share your conversation with the Apple computer salesperson?
So when I had started my my business, I was like, I'm going to invest in myself. Because I bought myself a really nice computer, but I went to the Apple store and I was shopping, and I was at the checkout, and she was like, what do you do? And I was like, it's really weird. You don't want to know. She's like, I'm okay with weird. I swear to God, she thought I was an OnlyFans stripper or something like that. But I was like, I'm a psychic medium. The bitch backed up.
She backed up.
I was like, I guess you're not okay with weird. She literally took a step back. So it's like, you don't know. Or I had to tell my boss, one of many of my bosses that I've had at my current day job. And they got uncomfortable when they looked over their shoulder. Like, I was actually looking on my sales floor to be like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, who's around? And it's like, that's the reactions that we get. So sometimes it's easier not to share anymore.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I am not afraid to say that I'm a psychic medium. I am not afraid to. I wear it very proudly, because not only, and this is egoic, and I'm okay with being egoic sometimes, but I earned it. I worked really hard to be where I am. I'm very proud of the work that I do, and I will not hide it for anybody.
Yeah.
I'm very proud. It took a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of consuming media, consuming educational books, working. Like, you don't understand until you're actually developing medium that you can read till the cows come home. Like, you can read any book and consume anything, but until you're actively practicing it, you don't know. Right? It's like getting a driver's manual and then getting in the car, and the driver's manual is nothing like the actual manual, and you have to find out every single time where the blinker of the car is, every single reading.
Yeah.
Like, where's the blinker on this one? Where's the gas pedal? And it's getting into a new vehicle every single time the entire dashboard's flipped.
Yep.
Right? And so you don't know until you get into that process. And so it takes a lot of time. So I am super proud. I would not take back a minute of my development.
Nope.
And so I earned it. I'm very proud to say that I do it, and I work ethically. And that's also why I'm very proud as well, that I know that people are safe in my care. Mm-hmm. And now my soapbox, I'm getting it off of it.
Oh, there, he's off.
Thank you.
You look shorter. No, I'm just kidding.
I do. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so dainty. But But I'm very proud of it. So but I'm now starting to realize that it's others' comfort. I also want people to be comfortable around me. Mm-hmm. So I need to.
Yeah. And it's also, is it worth for somebody that you're never going to meet again to have this conversation and get into this whole thing? And for me, it's just like, my life's too short to like have these stupid conversations. It's not that that I'm ashamed of it. It's just like, the people who matter know. And I mean, I'm freaking Google my name. You're curious, go Google my name. You'll figure it out real quick who I am. So
Spicy Dana 111.
But that's the funny thing too, is like when you get weird about like telling people what you do, they're like, oh, so you've got an OnlyFans account, or
They always go to sex worker.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So it's like, is it, what, but whatever,
What do you do? I'm a lip plump tester.
Yeah. This week we're using this one.
I use Too Faced. But I test lip plumper. That's my job. Mm-hmm. It's hard work.
Why is it spicy?
But yeah, so like I just love you so much, and I'm so glad we got to film this episode of just having fun and just not having any topic, but just talking about everything under the sun and whatever fell out of our mouth. So I just want to take a second and say how much we appreciate every single listener.
Yeah.
Every single minute that you guys listen and you give us the feedback that you've given us is such an honor. That we get to do something fun with our best friend. And it's just thank you. And one thing I do want to thank, can we give shout outs this episode? Do you mind?
Sure.
I want to thank all the moderators on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
They do not get enough love on the shit that they got to deal with. So I just want to give a couple of shout outs. Thank you so much to the moderators. Thank you so much to our friend group. And thank you so much to our family for putting up with us and supporting us and having to, because we listen to our podcast multiple times, having to hear our voices over and over and over again. So thank you so much to our spouses and our family members that support us, because we love you all. Thank you.
I echo everything that Matthew just said, but also huge shout out to Logan and IT, who just freaking rock this podcast out and really care about this and the intro songs and he really does put so much hard work into this. And Matthew, I adore you. I don't know what I did to get you just plopped into my life, but I'm thankful and grateful every day that it happened. I love doing this with you. I love our listeners. I love the people that support us. I kind of wake up every day and I'm like, how the hell did I just land here? And I have to just say how grateful and thankful I am to everybody listening, to you, Matthew, to our families, to our friends. We are so thankful for all of you.
Yes. And I love the humor and the laughter that you bring. And Logan from IT, you're like the Jean-Luc Picard of editing. It's just Captain. I don't know. I just made something up quickly.
But really just pulled that out of your ass.
I know. I did. It's the fjords, Dana. But thank you so much, Logan. You work really hard and we appreciate you. And we also love your little comments on YouTube. So keep those up. You're doing a really great job. Going places, kid. You're going places. But with that being said, Dana, I think we should wrap up this episode.
You are the light of 100,000 suns. You are the light.
You know what I was gonna say?
I don't want to know.
Yeah, can I do it, please?
Yes.
You are the light of 100,000 Lowe's light bulb aisles. You are the light.
Oh man,
that shit's bright. If you haven't been to Lowe's, it's bright.
That's real bright.
We love you all. You're in our heart. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.
See ya.